was dead to the world. Like, Leo had to actually get me up. Recapping California Adventure and Disneyland. That is like #1 on our list of things to try. So Trevor took my cousin to the ER. It's been an eventful trip, to say the least. Dig into one of these bad boys. Hello, I am so exhausted. I've literally spent, I'm not even kidding, like the last 4 hours compressing the clips for the Disneyland vlog. I had over 300 clips and I'm not using all 300. I filtered through because like I was doing like a lot of re-recording and stuff like that. Just because with every vlog, I don't always use all the clips that I take because sometimes clips come out blurry or I just feel like they're not relevant and stuff. So I was going through and figuring out which ones I was going to compress to use and stuff like that. It was just like a lot to filter through. Right now I'm having the turkey sausage stuffing fried rice. One of my absolute favorite fall items from Trader Joe's. So good. I literally bought 2 bags when I saw it came back. But yeah, I've basically been spending all afternoon working on that. As far as the morning goes, I was dead to the world. Like, Leo had to actually get me up. He like jumped on the bed and barked in my face and he was like, hey, take me to the park. So I did do that before I got up because especially when he was trying to get me up, I felt so guilty. I didn't tell you guys, but the solo night that I had at Disneyland in the California Adventure vlog, I actually had been planning to stay there until about 11:30, and I was actually home by like 10:45 for 2 reasons. The first reason was because we ended at California Adventure earlier than originally planned because the kids just got burnt out, everyone was tired, and we all knew we were gonna do a full day at Disneyland the next day. So we just kind of decided to call it a little bit earlier on California Adventure the day before. Also, California Adventure is just like one of those things you can easily get through like the most exciting things to do in just like a few hours. You definitely don't need opening till closing there, especially with us using the lightning lanes and stuff like that. We were able to basically get through everything that we wanted to. So I was able to get to Disneyland earlier than anticipated, but also too, Trevor let me know Leo was refusing to eat. He wouldn't eat his dinner and he wouldn't eat his topple because that was like the 2nd night in a row that I had been gone. Because, you know, we had the family dinner and then Trevor got back home before me because I went to Joe's and stuff. So Leo was just upset that I was gone and wasn't eating. So since I was able to get to Disneyland earlier that night, I just decided to do like the things that I wanted to do the most, which was just like a couple of rides and get my Spirit jersey like you guys saw, and then I headed home. I was actually gonna try to do more rides since I wanted to take advantage of being a single rider, but you know, when Trevor told me that Leo was upset and not eating, I immediately got home, and then as soon as I got home, he ate his dinner. So I made sure this morning I took him to his favorite park and just gave him lots of love and attention and everything because I feel bad that I haven't been home the last couple days. He's just so used to me being home pretty much all day with him except for just like a couple of hours, and I think this is the first time where I've spent a significant amount of time away from him. I mean, we've left him for 1 vacation so far and he did well then, and yesterday for Disneyland when we were both gone, he actually was really good for a sitter. He ate his dinner, all of that stuff. So I don't know why, just particularly on Monday night he was so upset that I was gone, but it just made me so sad. But I've just basically been recovering all day, trying to get all the clips out and everything for all the vlogs. And you guys, honestly, I'm never ever doing this again. It sounded like such a good idea to do vlog week this week because we had so much going on. I mean, family in town, Disneyland, California Adventure, all of that stuff. Never again on a week like this. It was just too much. Like, I was getting home so late I needed to compress the clips. I needed to edit every single day. And I edited ahead because I knew like the day that I went to Disneyland, it was not going to happen. It was just like way too much stress, and like it wasn't the actual filming that was hard. Had I done this as like a multiple day vlog as opposed to like a vlog week where each day was its own separate daily vlog, it would have been different. But it was just far too much with that editing schedule and everything for me to have done a vlog week this week. So I'm slightly regretting it. I wish that I had it. If I did it all over again, I'd film every single thing that I filmed. I wouldn't change one thing that I filmed, but it would just end up all being one long vlog, or maybe like 2 long vlogs or something like that. This was just, like I said, it was just too much. So never again. I'm not doing this again. I mean, this was even worse than when I do Vlogmas, because like with Vlogmas, I'm not out all day on most things, and when I am, I can really plan ahead and like start vlogging earlier so that I have more of a buffer time and stuff like that. But for this, it was just like far too compressed. So never ever doing this again. If ever there's a week I have family in town and we're doing all of this stuff, as great of content as it does make for a vlog week, it's not happening because I'm so mentally drained from that. And then on top of like just Disneyland and hanging with my family and everything, my body is so tired. Like my back hurts, my knees hurt, my feet hurt, my ankles hurt, all of it. I'm so exhausted. I also don't know how Trevor is at work today. He went straight to work this morning. I was like, good for you. That's not me. I have the day off today. I'm like, I need a day to recover, which is what I'm doing. So making myself some comfort food right now with the turkey stuffing fried rice. I've been waiting to have this for like the perfect opportunity, and today sounded so good because it's so low effort. Just throw it in a pan and heat it up. So I think this is almost done, and I'm gonna plate this. And then I also did want to recap for you guys little mini reviews on the food that I had at Disneyland and California Adventure, because I had a lot of it and I don't think I filmed a lot of it for the vlogs, but I did for TikTok. So I'll go through everything I ate for you guys, let you guys know what I recommend, what I don't. I'll also let you guys know as far as like new rides and attractions that I saw, again, what I recommend and what I don't and stuff, because I don't feel like I really had the opportunity to do that in the actual vlogs. So for anyone who kind of was hoping for a little bit more information on my reviews and my thoughts on everything in the parks, I will do that in this vlog. Oh my god, you guys, this looks and smells so freaking good. I can't wait to dig in. But for anyone who hasn't had this before, it's got green beans, carrots, turkey sausage, obviously, and corn. And it's such a good savory mix. It definitely is very Thanksgiving vibes. But recapping what oh my gosh, do you guys see the steam coming out of this? I don't know if I'm gonna finish a full bag. I might. I just started out with half. But recapping California Adventure and Disneyland and everything I rode and everything that I ate. So for California Adventure, starting there, I started out with the Oogie Boogie apple lemonade. You guys saw I even went back, I got a second one. That was hands down the best thing that I had that day. It was so good. It wasn't too sweet, and I highly recommend it for anyone. I think kids will absolutely love it, adults will love it, and especially if you bring in anything to spike your drinks with at Disneyland. If you guys want to know how I did that, check out the previous vlogs from this vlog week. But I cannot recommend it enough. 10 out of 10 on that one. They describe it as having boba in it, so I wasn't having the little bubbles at first because I don't like boba. But if you're like me and you don't like boba either, don't be fooled. Those things are not actually boba. It's just like these little apple flavored spheres that you can kind of like pop in your mouth. So once I realized that made the experience even better. But if you're going to California Adventure during this season, get that drink. I promise you, you won't be disappointed. Best thing I had all day. Also later that day at the same spot, Smoke Jumpers, when I got my second one, I also got their crinkle fries, just like a side of it, just for Jill and I to munch on. And she and I were just like so blown away. Those crinkle fries are amazing. If you need like a midday snack and fries sound good, go to Smoke Jumpers and get those. They were perfectly crispy, chef's kiss. And then the next thing that I had, I think it was lunch, I got the Rita's strawberry margarita. It tasted good, but it made me so sick, so I wouldn't recommend it, especially if you're someone who generally gets a little sick when it comes to like sugary alcoholic drinks. Absolutely do not get that one. But for my actual lunch, I had the turkey club pesto from, I think it's Aunt Cass's cafe. So good. If you want lunch, it's in the San Francisco area, and if you don't want any of like the other stuff, there were so many things at San Francisco I would have wanted to try if I could modify one thing on it. There was like an udon, but it had like red peppers in it. I didn't want that. And peppers for me is like something I can't pick out because I can still taste like the essence of the flavor in the dish. There was also like a chicken karaage dish I would have wanted, but I don't want the sauce. I'm just like, I'm so picky. So I had seen that turkey club on TikTok and I was like, okay, it's in this area, let me try this. And it was amazing. The focaccia focaccia bread that it comes on was so fluffy, and it has like the herbs and the cheese on top. Amazing. All the ingredients were really fresh and really crisp, and then it comes with a pesto aioli inside, and I don't typically like things with aioli. Usually I take it out, but pesto aioli is something that I'm usually willing to try, and it was so freaking amazing. I think that it is one of the most underrated items in that San Francisco area, because everyone's always talking about the birria ramen and like the different udons and like the chicken teriyaki and everything, which my cousins did have those, and they said that all of those were really, really good. But like I said, there were things that I would have wanted to modify on all of them that I wasn't able to. You're not allowed to like modify stuff, or like with the birria ramen, I don't eat beef, so I wasn't able to have that. I also did try the Baymax macaron. It tasted really delicious, but I literally broke off a fourth of the macaron. I was splitting it with my cousin, and I couldn't even finish that fourth that I broke off. It was so crazy sweet. I think it's great if you have a few people, that way multiple people can taste it and you're just like having a couple bites each, because like I said, I couldn't even finish that like one bite that I took of it. It might have also been because of the margarita, because that was also really sweet and my stomach was already starting to feel not that great as I was trying the macaron, so that might have been it. I might have been able to finish a little bit more, but I still think just overall it was good, but just super sweet. Like if it was just a regular size macaron, it would have been perfect. Yeah, I think that's all of the new stuff that I tried at California Adventure. We ended up kind of skipping dinner because Jill and I got those fries and the Oogie Boogie drinks pretty late in the day, and then like I said, I went to Disneyland and then headed home. I did get my churro on the way out. I always recommend that. Getting a churro to like eat as you're walking to your car is just like the perfect ending to Disneyland Day. But as far as rides and attractions at California Adventure, I mean, the classics are always great. I did the Incredicoaster, which was so much fun, and oh my god, I totally forgot, I also had the Jack Jack Num Num cookie. Again, we split that amongst all the cousins, and that one was really good. I highly recommend that one over the Baymax macaron. It comes melty and so chocolatey. It definitely is a cookie for sharing, but it's not overly sweet. Honestly, with the fact that I get crumble all the time, I might have actually been able to finish one on my own, but I was very aware that I was pacing myself because there were things that I wanted to try. But yeah, it's a really good chocolate chip cookie. Just be aware, it does come out super warm, super melty. I actually got chocolate all over my hat, but thank God for my cousin for being a mom, and she had stuff to clean my hat off with because I was wearing a white hat, and I like accidentally touched my hat after I was eating the cookie, and I didn't realize that all of the chocolate chips had kind of like melted onto my hand, so we had to go clean up my white hat. But even with that mess, it was worth it. Of the two cookies, that's definitely the one I would recommend getting. But back to the rides, I really liked the, I think it's like the Luigi ride, not Luigi Mario Kart obviously, but in Cars Land, you go in these cars and they do like a little coordinated dance and stuff. You don't actually drive it, but it was like such a cute ride. I think adults would really like it. It's very entertaining, and it's like pretty cool technology. It's like everything's trackless, which we noticed a lot with newer rides in Disneyland too. Everything is like trackless technology, which I thought is the coolest thing ever. But yeah, the Luigi ride was a lot of fun. And then what did we do afterwards? I know that we did web slingers at one point of the day. I think out of the new rides that I did, that one was my favorite. It is an arm workout because you're literally like doing this the whole time. It's like an interactive game. You're trying to like kill these like spider bots that are like exponentially multiplying and like taking over the facility. Yeah, that one was really cool. I really liked that one a lot. And then I also did the Guardians of the Galaxy. I liked it, but I really missed Tower of Terror. I know that like for younger generations, Guardians of the Galaxy is going to be more fun, it's going to be more enjoyable, but I was really sad when they announced that they were going to change it from Tower of Terror, because that is such a classic. It makes me sad because it's probably going to get forgotten now. But I mean, the ride was pretty similar. I mean, they changed up like the timing of it and everything to align with what they're doing for Guardians of the Galaxy, but it's the same concept. It brings you up and it drops you a few times. And yeah, I think that was everything that I rode at California Adventure. Now for Disneyland, so like the Disneyland day though, I started out with two classics, beignets and mint julep. Highly recommend both of those. Those two are can't misses for me. This time we did it like pretty early in the day, so the beignets were kind of like a mid-morning second breakfast, and it was kind of perfect, especially because we had the kids with us. Like they were so excited because they were Mickey shaped and stuff. And then the mint julep is always good, so refreshing. What I love about the mint juleps is that they're not overly sweet at all. They are just like the perfect level of sweetness and refreshing and mintiness and stuff. And then again, if you bring in anything to spike drinks with, the mint julep is absolutely perfect for that because it's not too sugary. I drank it and I didn't feel sick like I did the day before with the Rita strawberry margarita. So again, the mint julep is a can't miss. Same with the beignets. They were perfect, wonderful. Love the Mickey shape. They are really messy though because they have the powdered sugar, so just be aware of that. And then for lunch, we were kind of in a hurry. I was like, we were waiting for like our lightning lane to activate and stuff like that. So my first time eating in Toontown, I got the fold over pizza. I think it's like Daisy's Cafe or something like that. But That was shockingly good. That was a surprise out of nowhere. I ordered it on a whim because I wanted something I could hold and eat in line. And I was like, okay, pizza, more often than not, you really can't screw that up. I mean, I have had some bad pizzas before in my life, but most of the time, pizza's pretty safe. But that fold over pizza, first off, absolutely perfect if you're gonna eat your lunch in line because it's a folded pizza, so it's self-contained. It was so shockingly good. Like the cheese mix inside was perfect. I think that there were like a few herbs and stuff that really gave it a really good flavor. And then also what was so good for Trevor and I was that they do thin sauce on that. Trevor and I are not sauce people, so we always order our pizza with light sauce. So it was perfect that that's how it already came. Jumping in here because I'm editing this and I can't believe that I forgot about the cold brew at Docking Bay 7 in Galaxy's Edge. It is literally the best coffee in the park, you guys. It's so good. It's a cream cheese cold foam with cold brew, obviously, and then it has Cocoa Puffs on top, and you guys, it's literally gonna blow your mind. It is amazing. I waited like all morning for that because we didn't realize that the restaurant that serves it didn't open till 10:30, so that really bummed me out. But the second I knew we were gonna loop back around to Galaxy's Edge, I put in my mobile order immediately because that drink is a can't miss for me anytime that I am at Disneyland. And then I think the next thing that we ate was the cheesy garlic bread. My cousin and I all day kept being like, we need to get the cheesy garlic bread. She and I had been talking about it since like the day before we went to California Adventure. Both of us had seen it on social media and we were like, that is like #1 on our list of things to try. Guys, 10 out of 10. Go get it. It is worth the hype. It's this pretzel bread. They put like a cheesy sauce in the middle with like actual cheese, so when you pull it apart, it's just like ooey and gooey and it's garlicky and like it has a bunch of herbs, and it was so good. I bought 3 for our group and we like demolished them. They were amazing and they were kind of perfect because it was like getting to like later in the day and no one wanted to eat a full meal because we were going to go to Goofy's Kitchen, but everyone was starting to get a little hungry, so it was kind of like perfect for us to split with everyone. And then for dinner we did Goofy's Kitchen. For the experience for kids, I do recommend it. I think it's really good. It's really fun, especially if you have a birthday. I think that's a great way to celebrate the birthday. If you have young kids and it's like their first time at Disneyland, the character dinner is perfect because then the characters are coming to your table. You don't have to try to track them down in the theme parks so that your kids can get photographs and autographs with them. They come to your table, so it works out. You can relax and have some dinner while the characters come to you. Sorry y'all, I took a little break because I inhaled the rice and it went down the wrong pipe and you guys are on my water, so I had to like stop the vlog really quick to sip my water. Sorry, I timed out again because my cousin just texted me. We weren't sure if we were gonna see them tonight, but they're all down to hang out. Everyone's like feeling a little bit dead, but we're all kind of like in the same consensus of like, we still want to see each other before they fly out tomorrow. So I'm gonna bring dinner over there. So I need to get dressed, but while they're deciding, I'll finish up recapping. So for Disneyland, where did I leave off? Oh yeah, the garlic pretzel bread. You have to get that. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I also did get the Boys and Apple slushie from there. Again, if you are spiking your drink, that one is a great one, but on its own, that was really good. I was scared that that one was gonna be super sweet, but it wasn't either. It was a really good flavor, really good sweetness level. It was really refreshing paired with the cheesy pretzel. Oh, and I remember where I left off in the last clip. So Goofy's Kitchen character dinner. For the kids, it's great. Food-wise, it was only okay. It's a buffet. The food is seasonal. I think just the fall menu wasn't like my cup of tea, but my favorite thing honestly was the chicken tenders in the kids section. So personally, unless you have kids with like one of those special events, like it's their first time, you want to get character pictures, or it's like a birthday, I would skip out on Goofy's Kitchen, especially if you're like a group of adults. I think you'd find better stuff in the park, but the service at Goofy's Kitchen, that was for sure hit or miss. So when my cousin made the reservation, because it was a group of 16, they told her you can only make a reservation for like, I think it was like a max group of 10. But they said if she made 2 different reservations under 2 different names, they would make sure that we get seated together. So we get there and the girl at the front, which it wasn't her fault that things got miscommunicated, but she was not handling it very nicely, I will say. She told us that because my cousin hadn't booked under the same last name, that there was no indication to put the 2 parties near each other. So we ended up being sat on opposite sides of the restaurant, and we were asking if there's anything she could do. She said that there wasn't, and that's not a problem. Like, I get it. If your hands are tied, your hands are tied. But we were trying to explain to her what happened because my cousin and her husband don't have the same last name, which is actually true of Trevor and I as well. Like, it's a very common thing for spouses to maybe not share the same last name. Well, I'm hyphenated, so we kind of have the same last name. But anyways, that's not the point. So we were trying to explain what happened, and we were like, you know, is there anything we can do? And she's basically like, no, you really should have put it under the same last name. And we're like, we weren't told that. So like, what more could we have done with the information we were given? But they weren't able to work it out. So I'm sure you guys noticed at the clips at dinner, we were not seated together. We were separated, and they like literally sat us across the restaurant from each other. And then my cousin asked, she's like, okay, well, you know, if we can't sit together, when it comes time for the cake, is it okay if everyone comes over to the table to sing? And the girl at the front was like, no, I don't think you can do that. We can't allow a full table to come up and join another table for the cake. And I was just kind of like, that feels like a little bit ridiculous. So when we sat down, I asked our server, I was like, hey, they told us at the front that we weren't allowed to go to our other party's table to sing happy birthday to the birthday girl. And she looked at me and she was like, that is not the case. That's absolutely ridiculous. You are more than welcome to go sing happy birthday. In fact, when we're about to bring out the cake, I will come to your table first and let you guys know so you guys can go and get up and start heading over to the table. Like, our server was amazing. She was giving us such great service. She had heard what happened. She was trying so hard to make up for what had happened. She was wonderful. Definitely loved her. We were not a fan of the service that we got at the front desk though. And then also too, I think they called it like the seating planner. She was trying to tell us like, oh, you could have booked a party bigger than 10. And Jill was trying to tell her, no, like your system literally would not allow me to. And then this is what we were told. So we kept getting told like a million different things. So I think that Goofy's Kitchen just needs to be a little bit more organized about how they're handling big parties like that. Cause it wasn't the end of the world that we couldn't sit together, but it definitely could have been handled a little bit better. But thank God for our server who was so sweet and so nice and was doing everything she possibly could to make up for it and make sure that we got excellent service. And then the only other thing I ate at Disneyland was my churro on the way out to the parking lot. So yeah, those were all the foods that I enjoyed. I'm gonna get ready and walk Leo, and then I will let you guys know about the new rides at Disneyland on the drive to go to my cousin. I'm gonna go pick up the food, but I'll show you guys what I'm wearing. Top is from Free People. It's the Brahmi top. Then I have these flared leggings. God, it's so backlit. They're petite leggings. They're from Old Navy. Then I'm just gonna do my slides because I can't be bothered today. And then I'm bringing my Playboy sweatshirt that I thrifted from the Silver Lake Flea Market, the matching one I have with Michelle. But I got everything packed that I need. Not that I really needed anything. Fresh battering, you guys. And then I'll head out. I'm sorry, buddy. It's the last time I'm leaving you for dinner though, okay? I promise. On my way to Panini Grill to pick up the food for everyone. As far as recapping rides at Disneyland, I mean, we rode a lot of the classics. We were able to get through most things because we all got Genie Plus and we were using the lightning lanes. I think that the Genie Plus system is really stupid. It's just a cash grab for Disneyland. For anyone who's been confused on Genie Plus and like what it is versus like the lightning lanes and stuff, basically you need to purchase Genie Plus in order to use the lightning lanes. So a lot of the rides are gonna have a lightning lane, which is basically the fast pass line, but you can only use one lightning lane at a time. So say it's 10 o'clock and you get a lightning lane for Indiana Jones and your boarding time is at 11:15 or something like that, you can't get another lightning lane until 11:15. Basically you're paying to use the fast pass system now, as opposed to back in the day when it was free and it was like the same thing. You could only use it one at a time, which makes sense, but now you pay $30 for it for the day, which is annoying, but wouldn't be as annoying if you didn't have to also pay to use the lightning lanes for certain rides. So for Rise Against the Resistance, it has a lightning lane, and if you have Genie Plus you can use the lightning lane, but you need to pay an extra. The day that we were there, it was $26 per person to use the lightning lane for Rise of the Resistance specifically on top of Genie Plus. So certain rides will cost you more to use the lightning lane. I don't know what other ones. I don't remember going on any other ones that we had to pay for, but I feel like there probably is. But anyways, yeah, that's the new system. It was funny, on Monday when I went to Rise of the Resistance by myself, it was $23, then it went up $3 to $26 on Tuesday because I guess Oogie Boogie Bash was going on that night, so they raised the price a little bit because they were anticipating being busier from Oogie Boogie Bash. So just be aware of that. They are gonna like change the price based on how busy it is that day, but it's about that mid $20 range per person on top of Genie Plus for Rise of the Resistance. But I highly recommend Rise. I recommend paying for it, as much of a pain in the ass that it is. If you haven't experienced it before, it's totally worth it. I was thinking about sitting out the next day so that I didn't have to pay for it again, but I just wanted to be able to see everyone else's reactions, so I ended up buying it again. But with the Genie Plus system, you do get all of your ride photos for free digitally. It goes to your app. You just need to get the ID number that's like on the top of the ride photo. And then if you know like the Disney photographers that like walk around the park and offer to take your photo, you get the digital copy of those photos free with Genie Plus as well. So you do get photos. I think there's like a couple other benefits that honestly I don't think you really would use. The main thing is the lightning lane access and then the photos. Our must rides every time are Indiana Jones, if it's not broken, because it's broken a lot. Thunder Mountain, that was the first thing Trevor and I did. Pirates, I always have to ride. Haunted Mansion, I have to ride. Smuggler's Run. Star Tours is my absolute favorite ride. I mentioned that, I think, in the California Adventure vlog when I went to Disneyland at night. That's my favorite ride. I usually end the night with that. This time we didn't, just because our Smuggler's Run lightning lane time was so late, so we did Star Tours first. But Star Tours usually goes down to like a 5 to 10 minute wait by the end of the night. I've rarely ever waited any longer than like 15 minutes for Star Tours because we usually just save it. It's on the way out of the park and it's a short line basically within like the 2 hours before closing. But Matterhorn's another one that we like to usually try to do. That was not a must ride for us. We just enjoy that ride, and if we can fit it in, then great. We were able to use the lightning lane for it, so we did that. I think that's it for the things that Trevor and I are like, we can't miss these rides. One new ride that we did besides Rise that I thought was really cool was like the Mickey's Runaway Railway or something like that. That ride was really, really cool. I was not expecting it. It's in Toontown. It's a new ride in there. I had no idea what it was. I just knew that we wanted to go on it for the kids. And it was really, really awesome. Like the storyline on it was great. It's very vibrant and there's a lot going on, so it's great for young children. And it's the same technology that they use on Rise of the Resistance, where you're just in a trackless car. I'm so curious about that technology. I've never seen that before. I think it's so cool. Like there's literally no tracks on the floor and your car just knows where to go. It's so crazy. But that was a surprisingly fun ride. For a kiddie ride that I knew nothing about, I enjoyed it so, so much. But yeah, that's basically my recap of everything that we saw at Disneyland that I recommend or don't recommend. But it's been like a fun past couple days. I'm just exhausted. I'm sad that Jill and the rest of the family are leaving tomorrow because it's, you know, so rare that we get to see them, but I'm so glad that we were able to like hang out together for the last few days, and then also that we can have dinner tonight if I can ever get out of this traffic to get our food. So my poor family, no kid has left this trip unscathed. We've had fevers, we've had like accidents that resulted in injuries, and now my nephew, it looks like he has an ear infection and they have to fly out tomorrow. So Trevor took my cousin to the ER while I finished up my food, and then he's going home and I'm heading over there right now, and I'm gonna sit with them and hang out with them and drive them back to the hotel. But I just feel so bad. I mean, all the kids had so much fun at Disneyland and, you know, everyone had a great time, but it definitely was not without a few hiccups and obstacles. And I just feel so bad that it was like all the kids that ended up sick or hurt or stuff like that. But hopefully the doctors can give him something to make his ear comfortable or help take the pressure off or something, because they're flying back tomorrow. But I guess worst comes to worst, someone may have to drive him home because of the pressure flying with his ear if it's infected. So yeah, I just feel so bad for everyone. But yeah, I dropped off the food. I've been eating and hanging out with my aunt and uncle and Jill's husband and his mom. We've just been hanging out, enjoying each other's company, but I know Trevor has to get to bed soon because he has work tomorrow. I mean, I have work tomorrow, but I don't have any meetings or anything, so I have a very flexible day. So I told him to just head home and I'd come and hang out with them and get them back to the hotel and everything. But man, these poor kids, I mean, like I said, they had a great time, so that's the good news. But unfortunately, every single kid had something happen to them. And I just feel so bad for them, especially because for 3 of them, it was their first trip to Disneyland. But hopefully when they look back on it, they only remember having fun and not the fact that they got sick or hurt. So, Jill's visit has been eventful, to say the least.
My poor guy.
Just a quick ER visit.
Yep. No big deal. Vacation.
Hooray!
Ear infection flying out tomorrow.
Aww.
We're hoping that these antibiotics kick in quickly.
Yeah. Alright guys, Jill's gonna head home tomorrow. It's been an eventful trip,
to say the least.
It was fun.
I look like a hot mess, so if you can tell how my trip went.
I mean, yeah, you went through a lot rougher things than me. I'm just trying to deal with like the tiredness from 2 days at Disneyland. You had to wrangle kids.
But honestly, I'm so glad she came. We weren't gonna spend time together.
I know.
I'm glad she did, because
I know. If you guys had to Uber to
like
all
to the
of those,
emergency room,
yeah, then to get
the
the
pharmacy,
yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so it was a good thing.
It was a good thing.
Yeah, I didn't mind at all.
But overall, the trip was fun.
Yeah.
chaotic,
Yeah, it
but
was.
fun.
3 kids got to go to Disneyland for the first time.
I know.
Hopefully next time they'll be healthy for the whole Disneyland.
And no ER visits, no
I
broken
know.
bones.
But we're gonna get the kids home, and everyone's gonna be fine.
I love you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Jill.